All right, folks, Bradford Ambrose here. We are breaking into programming. We do have a tornado warning in effect now for Elbert and Hart counties in Georgia. This is in our viewing area. I'll read you the latest from the National Weather Service here. Still showing good level rotation here, and I'll show you exactly what we're looking at, where the reds and the greens do come together. We'll get a new track on this. Once again, this is in Georgia, in our northeast Georgia communities. All right, so Hart and Elbert counties here. You can see Anderson off to the northwest or northeast. Hart County there in northeast Georgia. This sells back off down toward the northwest. All right, let's take Weather 1 full here, and I can do a little track and get the very latest information here from the National Weather Service. And they did just issue this about a minute or two ago, showing good level rotation here. We'll get the latest information. It says at 7:59, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles east of Danielsville, or 4 miles southwest of Bowman, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. All right, so let's put the latest track on this off to the northeast at 25. And let me switch here, put a new track on this. All right, we're going northeast at 25. All right. Hold on with me, folks. Doing some things behind the scenes here, trying to get this track situated. And all right, we are gonna go 25 miles per hour. Once again, if you're just joining us, we do have a tornado warning in effect for Hart and Elbert counties down in our northeast Georgia communities. And we're gonna stay on the air until this warning does expire, and we're going to put a track on this here. Watching this rotation move off to the northeast here over the next 27 minutes or so. So Bowman at about 8:14, Bowman Elementary at about 8:14. Hard Cash at about 8:21, and 13 Forks at about 8:28 this evening. Once again, we're watching this rotation here into Madison County. This is all lifting off to the northeast into Hart and Elbert counties as well. So we're watching this closely. I know that you all are watching regular programming, but we do have these this tornado warning in effect for our viewing area. The circulation right along 172, if I can put it back up on camera here, show the folks here at home. 172, as we broaden this out here, we can see kind of location-wise where this rotation is. Right along 172 here. Hart, you see back off toward the north. Put me back on cam. We can actually show the folks at home. Elberton, this doesn't include Elberton proper, down toward the southeast here, but lifting off to the northwest, that's where the tornado warning is in effect right now. Lifting into the north, so it's about to cross. It's right down the county line from Madison to Elbert counties, and it's going to straddle the county line between Hart and Elbert counties as well. Once again, lifting off to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. National Weather Service and Greenville issuing this. So there's the circulation there. Lifted off toward the Bowman area and far western Hart County. Once again, tornado possible with this, and we'll show you what you should do if you are in this tornado warning. If the signal, the alert has gone off on your phone, avoid windows, doors, and outside walls. Cover yourself with blankets or mattress for protection. Safest place to be is in the basement. If you don't have a basement, interior closet, interior hallway, interior bathroom. Do not get to the exterior of any of those walls, like the garages or the bedroom are out on the deck, this is probably going to be a rain-wrapped tornado. You're not going to be able to see it. So we're going to watch this potential here. This is a potential tornado, not one that has been put on the ground as of yet, but it does have the circulation with the potential there of producing a tornado at any time. All right, let's take the graphics full and show you the latest on radar here of what I'm watching. So this is regular reflectivity of what you're used to seeing at home, showing the rain-wrapped signature here. And if there is a tornado, the circulation is sitting right there, right along 172 and far western Hart County. And that's lifting to the northeast toward the Bowman area, toward the Hard Cache area in far western Elbert County. So we are watching this very closely. We got a new radar scan on live Super Doppler 4. So let's show you where it is right now. And you can see right along 172 there. And once again, this is lifting off to the northeast. So let's put a new estimated time of arrival here. And draw this out. We'll make it a little bit wider. All right, Bowman area about 8:17, Bowman Elementary at 8:17, 13 Forks at 8:31, and Newburgh at 8:37. All right, let's show you the big picture here. If you are just joining us, you turned on WYFF News 4 to watch the NBA programming. I do want to give you a heads up. We are in tornado warning coverage for Elbert and Hart counties in Georgia. Let's put on the regular reflectivity here. And you can see it's a very isolated cell. What we're talking about here, and we've been watching over the past several days, as this frontal boundary that's been draped across the area. If you can put me back on camera, that would be great. Been watching this frontal boundary very closely over the past several days, and we've got this isolated cell that's interacting with that front, that boundary, through Hart and Elbert counties. It stretches from Hart and Elbert counties over toward Abbeville County, over toward Greenwood, and then off to the northeast. So once again, cell is rotating right now. We have no confirmation that there is a tornado in progress. Waiting for a new update from the National Weather Service. But right now, let's see, expect the threat to be short-lived. So this will be likely a short-lived tornado warning. And once again, once it crosses that frontal boundary, it gets into a more stable air mass, and then that threat will really diminish. All right, so once again, this is a very isolated situation. Greenville, you're fine. Spartanburg, you're fine. Gaffney, you're fine. Asheville, all of our western North Carolina communities. Anderson, you're fine. We'll be watching that closely, though, because that's headed in your direction. We'll likely cross the state line here over the next 45 to 50 minutes or so. All right, let's take the graphic full here. We could do a new track on live Super Doppler 4. We're getting scans here within about 30 seconds to a minute here. That live Super Doppler 4 is updating. And once again, should be a fairly short-lived tornado warning, but we're going to stay on the air until the circulation has diminished. You can see where the reds and the greens have come together. We're going to look back here at about 7:56. You can see the circulation started to tighten up right along the 172 corridor there. Got really tight over the past several minutes. This is 8:05, just southwest of the Bowman area. And then just like that on live Super Doppler 4, the latest scan there has it diminishing significantly. So once again, National Weather Service did say this would be a short-lived tornado warning for that area. You can see we've got NBA programming on the right-hand side of your screen as the game has just started. And I promise you, once this tornado warning is dropped, we will get you to that game as soon as possible. But right now, tornado warning continues for Hart and Elbert counties. And those areas in the red polygon there. I will say, fortunately right now, the threat has diminished significantly with the last scan of live Super Doppler 4. So you can see right there along 172, just southwest of the Bowman area. If you are in the tornado warning, you need to get in your safe spot right now. Lowest level, most interior portion of whatever building you are in right now. don't try to go outside and see if this is going to produce a tornado, because it will likely be rain wrapped. And hopefully the trend is our friend here. The latest scan of Live Super Doppler 4 does show a weakening trend on this circulation. Remember, when you have the reds and the greens very close to one another, that's when you start to have some problems. And so that's why the National Weather Service did issue this tornado warning. Does continue until, let's see what we've got. Just rushing to get on air. It is until, let's see, 10 miles southwest of Elberton. All right, it's until 8:30, so we've got another 15 minutes until they either decide to cancel it early or they're going to let it run out. Still waiting on some information from the Weather Service here, but tornado warning still continues for a portion of Elbert and Hart counties until 8:30. Jane?
Yeah, Jane Robelo joining Bradford Ambrose here on the air. And Bradford, again, it's very critical. You're letting people know that this is a warning, not a watch. Watch is the conditions are right, but the actual system has formed in this area. So these are some tips that we want to give to you all. Again, this is a warning for Elbert and Hart County. So in the event of a tornado warning, which has been issued now, seek safety immediately. You heard Bradford say just a moment, if you are in this area, go to an interior room, a room with no windows if you can, where you can be protected from glass, from other flying objects. Take this very seriously. Again, nothing has been spotted actually touching down, but in this box that has been spotted in Hart County and in Elbert County, Georgia, this is a tornado warning, and Bradford is expecting this to last until about 8:30, right, Bradford?
That's correct. Tornado warning continues until 8:30.
And so you have been really tracking this whole line of storms, yeah, and had your eye on this earlier.
Yeah, and Jane, it's just how these things go. We had that brief tornado potential, I believe it was on Friday. And it's the same boundary that's interacting with these storms right now. That boundary has wavered across our viewing area over the past several days. And once again, when you get these isolated storms, they tend to get wrapped up and act a little squirrely, if you will, along the frontal boundary, start to rotate just a bit. I will say Live Super Doppler 4 is giving us the very latest information right now. And tornado warning, if you're just now joining us to watch the NBA game, that is on the right-hand side of your screen. I promise you, as soon as the tornado warning is dropped for Hart and Elbert counties in Georgia, which are in our viewing area, we will get you back to that game in full coverage as soon as we can. Here's the very latest timing of this tornado warning. The potential tornado here, 8:21 in the Bowman area. Also the elementary school there, Holly Springs Church at 8:24 and 8:35 in Shiloh Church there. Once again, moving off to the northeast. I will say the trend is our friend here. You can see back about 8:04 this evening where the reds and the greens are very close to one another, and really tightened up at about 8:06 or so. And then as we move this forward here over the last scan or two, we have seen a weakening trend. So that's some great news.
And Bradford, explain those reds and greens.
Yeah, so the greens are going toward the radar, so towards Live Super Doppler 4. The reds are going away from Live Super Doppler 4. And so when you get, once these start to get a little bit brighter and closer together, that's when you can have a tornado produce. There's the twisting of the winds with height. And so obviously the previous scans back, about 8 o'clock, that's when we saw those reds and the greens very close to one another. So that's
and that's why it's also, you're telling people that it seek shelter if you're in this area, if you're inside this box.
Correct.
Which is Hartwell 77 South, and then we're looking to like 172 cuts right through this, and then sort of southeast of 281 near Royston. So this is kind of that area south of Royston, Hartwell, just above Elberton, that you really need to take this seriously.
Yeah, and here's the regular reflectivity, if you will, that you're used to seeing. The previous product I was showing you is the winds. This is the rain around that system as well. We've actually got another thunderstorm coming in here, and it's starting to interact. So these two are interacting. So this one here, and then the one also off toward the east. I will say this one over into Elbert County is starting to rotate as well, and it is right along that boundary. So just northeast of Elberton there, live Super Doppler 4 is tracking this area of rotation, if you will, and now it is developing rotation right along that boundary. So in between Elberton and the Coldwater area, a developing tornado certainly possible there. Would not be a surprise the National Weather Service potentially issuing a warning on that one. So tornado warning once again, if you're just now joining us, for far western Elbert County and far eastern Hart County in Georgia. These are in our viewing area. Right now, Greenville, if you're joining us from Greenville, Anderson, Spartanburg, Asheville, anywhere in between, we're okay. No tornado threat right now. These are just right along a boundary we've been tracking and talking about over the past several days. So you can see that one area of rotation has now gone away, and potentially they have dropped the tornado warning. All right, so some great news here. National Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning for far western Elbert and far southern and eastern portions of Hart County. I will say I'm watching this area of rotation very closely. So if you live between Elberton and the Coldwater area, we are watching that area of rotation as well with live Super Doppler 4. I'm going to broaden the picture out, reset things, and then we can get things back to programming here in just a second. All right, so broader picture here, and you can see most of the area is fairly dry right now, but we are watching the showers and thunderstorms come across the region right now, and we are watching them on that boundary draped from Elbert County, Hart County toward Abbeville and Greenwood County. So we are watching these storms very closely. If another tornado warning is issued, we will hop back on the air. But for now, for Jane Roble, I'm meteorologist Bradford Ambrose. We'll send it back to programming.